Hello everyone, hope you're all well. Today I'm going to be talking about my travelling journey. This is episode 3 of the travelling series. Once again, assuming that you asked, I'm talking about it anyway. This is my way of journaling. It's obviously a public journal. If you haven't, if this is the first time you're watching a video, you know, if you want to see in order, I've got a little playlist on my travels, and this is episode 3. So, it's been a little while since I recorded one of these videos. I think today or yesterday was 2 months since I've been back, which is basically as long as I was away. So I want to do these as soon as possible so I don't forget. Obviously I've got my notes, but yeah, I don't really want to fucking talk about it, to be honest, because it makes me sad. But I need to get it down because I like to journal, and I like to. In a few years, I'll be happy that I did this, so I can come back and listen to it and sort of feel a little bit of the feelings that I'm feeling now and that I felt 2 months ago. And I would encourage you all to do the same in some sort of journaling way, whether that be written down, self-video entries, or something like this with Minecraft gameplay over the top. Anyway, so last time I finished the video, I left off on the 15th of May, which is where we got up early to get on a boat to Lombok. This is in Indonesia, guys. Got on a boat to Lombok, and it was delayed. Everything's delayed in Indonesia, those motherfuckers. Nothing's on time. So yeah, we were sat on this fucking pier for hours. I was hungry. We were rushing, but we didn't have to rush because we were sat there for ages because the boat took ages to get. I got myself a coffee, and selfishly, I didn't ask the other three if they wanted anything. And they were like, oh yeah, thanks for asking. I was like, oh shit, sorry. I also got myself a chicken sandwich, which was beautiful. And then, yeah, finally the boat arrived. The boat was a very short journey. It was literally 10 minutes. 10 minutes, because we were on an island called Gili. The boat was about 10 minutes to Lombok. We got off at Lombok, and we sat in this fucking in this weird restaurant, and the building quality in this part of the world is so much lower than I'm sort of used to. I know that sounds very upper class, arrogant arsehole, but I felt like the building was literally going to fall down. So we just chilled in there for a bit. Must have been about another hour in that building. I tried chewing gum. I'm not usually a gum guy. I usually prefer Polos and mouthwash when it comes to freshening my breath, but gum, I can't do it. For some reason, it falls apart in my mouth, and I've got 7 little separate bits. It's weird. I don't know. Gum's weird. I haven't even got that written down. I just remembered it just from reliving the moment and thinking about it all. Yeah. So then we got on a fucking bus, and the bus was wait. Hold the phone. What? Yeah, so, oh yeah, I seem to have made an error in the notes here. It says the boat was shit, but I must have said bus. Yeah, so we were going to be on this bus for 3 hours, and fucking hell, it was, oh no. No, that was an error. So, we were getting on a bus to the boat, so, just so I can, you know, just follow me here, sorry guys. So we got on this fucking cramped little bus for a few hours to drive to this port, where we were going to be getting on a boat that we were going to stay on for fucking 4 days and 3 nights. I haven't seen any pictures of this boat. I sort of just put the faith in my sister, the one who booked it. And yeah, the bus was fucking shit. We were sat on there for hours, and I was watching Narcos with this girl, Emma. I'm calling it, that's her name, Emma. It's not really her name, but I don't want to. Yeah. So. And she's always like doing her Duolingo Spanish. I'm like, you would love Narcos, and we're watching it together, and all was good, all was good. And it was crazy because as we were watching Narcos, I've obviously already seen Narcos a long time ago, but rewatching it was cool. And then looking out the window, like parts of Indonesia look like the jungles of Colombia. Hopefully I don't offend any locals if I've got any audience from either of those places, but I looked at Narcos and I look out the window. I'm like, oh my god, I could like this could pass for fucking Narcos, Narco land. Anyway, so we arrived at the pier, and my goodness gracious, it was a bit of a shit show. We got there, the boat was shit. I was not that happy. We were stood on the boat, and this dude came up to us. He's like, ice cream. He's like smiling, smiling. He's like, ice cream, ice cream, and everyone just takes ice cream from him. We're like, oh, that's a nice little welcome gesture, because we've paid for like the whole boat, and so not the whole boat. There was lots of other people with us, but we paid for our ticket, which included like the meals and shit, and we just thought this was included. I didn't take an ice cream because I didn't want one, but my sister's boyfriend did. I think my sister did. And then he comes round after everyone's eating their ice cream. He's like, okay, money. And they're like, what? I thought it was free. And he charged like an extortionate rate too. And everyone's getting mad at him, but he's still got this massive smile on his face. It's so jokes. And straight off the bat, we just got scammed. It was fucking hilarious. But with the boat, I think we were sat on the boat for like 3 hours before we even moved, because we were waiting for these other two girls who, they had tickets to the boat, but like their travel agent or something, their Indonesian travel agent scammed them. So like they sold legit tickets, but then they sold them like transport to the boat, but then transport was fake. It's just weird. Like why not just scam the whole thing? If you're gonna scam half of it, why not scam the whole thing? But yeah, they scammed her for travel, so she couldn't get to the boat, so she had to get a last minute taxi. 3 hours late. We were not happy, but it wasn't her fault really. These two little girls, wasn't their fault. But it's still hella annoying. And we bought the more expensive tickets, which means we had a room underneath. Everybody else was sleeping on top of the boat, and it was, you know, oh my, I was just thinking, like, for fuck's sake, how am I going to spend 4 fucking days on this shit? And I could already tell that, like, the mix of people weren't really, I wasn't that excited to socialise with them. They turned out to be quite nice, but like, yeah, I mean, I don't keep in touch with any of them now. You know, they just weren't really like my typical group. Oh, I say that there was some guys that were safe on there, but they're all right. They're all right. Yeah, and then we chose one of these rooms, me and this girl together, and we had a fucking hole in the wall. And I was like, yo, there's a hole in the wall. You can look into us sleeping. I told the crew member, this guy was like fucking 19, and he just starts laughing at me. I'm like, what are you laughing at? There's a fucking hole in the wall, you cunt. Anyway, we soon got like some towel to cover the hole, and just chilled in there for a bit. Our room was right underneath, right above the engine, and it was very hard to sleep or do anything in there. It was fucking hot. We were getting rocked by the water so heavily. It was talking back. It's actually really funny to talk back on, but in the moment, I was a miserable cunt. Yeah, I was not my best self. Obviously, yeah. Did I mention no shower? Basically, hardly any running water. Yeah, it was tough, guys. It was funny though. It was funny. So yeah, the girls finally arrived. The boat we set off, and then we not halfway through the journey, but after setting off for that evening before the sunset, we stopped off on this little island to go on this hill on the island to look at the sunset. We just about missed the sunset because we were fucking late. We got back on the boat, and we slept whilst the boat had the anchor down, so that was nice. We had the food on the boat as well, and it was actually really good. Not really good, but it was surprisingly good. And yeah, that was the first day on the boat, and it was interesting. And obviously, there's a little bit of socialising going on. We're all eating around. It's so interesting, you know. It's cliche, but you bump into all types of people when travelling. Well, actually, not really. Most of the people travelling are the same kind of people. Like, oh my god, I want to go and travel the whole world. There's no one that's like me, because I didn't give a shit. I was just doing this because I was following Emma. I was being a fucking simp following a girl out there. Like everyone else is like, oh my god, I want to travel the world. I want to go to Arlequin. And fuck off. It's fucking annoying me. But yeah, so that was the first night. We went to sleep on the boat, and I remember it must have been like 2:30 in the morning, but I didn't realise it was 2:30 in the morning. I obviously, you know when you fall asleep and you wake up, I thought we were just chilling on the bed together, me and this girl, but I woke up like, I didn't realise I'd been asleep for hours, but I just wake up and I just start fucking getting off of her, and I'm like, obviously I was enjoying it, and then I turn over when we're finished. I look at the clock. I'm like, holy shit. So like from her perspective, she's been asleep. I've woken her up and I've just started kissing her for like 15 minutes. And in the morning, I was like, shit, I didn't realise it was 2:30. I'm sorry about that. She's like, it's fine. I was like, that was weird. That was weird. Just woke her up and started kissing her and then rolled over, went to bed. Okay. Whatever. So yeah. Then we woke up at 6:30. Oh, this was cool. Oh no, we must have been driving the boat. We probably weren't anchored because I remember on the 16th of May, we woke up at 6:30. Everybody was woken up. Smash. I remember my foot was like sort of hanging off the bed, and one of the crew just slapped my foot. He's like, "Hey, get up!" I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And we fucking woke up at 6:30 to dive for whale sharks. That was cool. Like I can never say, and I could probably never maybe, but I could probably never again say that this morning I went from 5 minutes ago I was asleep. Now I'm swimming in the sea with whale sharks. 5 minutes ago I was asleep. I'm now swimming with whale sharks. That was pretty fucking cool. And I'll admit that was sick because I am quite stubborn. I'm like, yeah, traveling shit. I don't care about it. No, that was cool, and I will admit that was fucking sick. Sunsets and shit and stuff like that. Yeah, I can get bored of that, but this was pretty awesome. I remember when I first jumped in, I could see. So first of all, it was us and another boat, and on the throughout this whole trip, we had serious what I call boat envy, because I mean, there's lots of companies doing the same trip, because we're doing like this one line with these big stops, and the main event was supposed to be the Komodo Island, with the Komodo dragons, and it was. I'm not sure why I'm emphasising that it didn't happen. It did happen, but yeah, we were. So yeah, we're all doing the same journey, but there's different companies, different boats, and we by far had the shittest boat. I mean, there was boats that were like a little bit like nicer, and I was like, dude, even some of those improvements would just make quality of life so much better. But then we saw like the super luxury boats, and I'm like, yo, imagine having some of your friends on that, just a few of your close friends. That would be a good time. But obviously, it's very expensive, so. That being on that boat for 4 days on the really expensive ones probably cost more than the whole trip for me. Like the entire trip cost me about $5 grand. It probably cost more than that to be on that boat. So one day I could do that, but not today. So yeah, we woke up with swimming with whale sharks, and yeah, so I'll go back to what I was saying. So there was us, another boat full of other people, and then there was a third boat, but it had locals on it, and what they were doing is I think they were putting fresh water and plankton in the water, which attracted the whale sharks, and you could see the whale shark literally peeking its mouth out of the water, just catching the plankton in its mouth. It was so surreal, and I jumped in, and I saw like a load of people like treading water just in between the boats, and there was a few whale sharks underneath them, and I was like, oh cool. And then I also saw another group. There was only two groups of people in their I guess groups, and there was another group of people treading water just away from the boat. So I swam to them, and while swimming, I didn't expect to see anything because I was like, oh, the sharks are obviously underneath the two groups. And as I'm swimming from one to another, because I hadn't seen one yet. The first time I'm swimming from one group to another, I see this humongous fucking beast not right below my feet, but it felt close enough. And I was like, oh shit! I think I shouted shit. And yeah, that was my first time seeing one. And I was on my own. And I was scared. I'm like, obviously they only eat like microplankton, so I was completely fine. But it was just like, the primal was like, big monster, you're in its fucking space, you are fucked. But I was fine, obviously, because here I am, more than 2 months later, talking to you on the other side of the world. But yeah, that was really cool. And then I swam with the group. I saw it loads more. Swam back to the other group, and it was kind of hard to find my like core group of 3 other people, because you know we've all got snorkels on. We all look different, and I remember I was getting really close to some of them, and it was really cool. And then as I'm treading water with my mate, we're looking at one that's below us. I literally turn around just because I don't know why I turn around. I just turn around because I'm just looking around me. I turn around and there's literally a fucking whale shark coming at my face. And I was very high up, so the whale shark was basically at the surface with me. And I was, oh my god, what the fuck? And I kind of did this weird, like, you know the position people make when they skydive? I kind of did an inverted skydive because I saw it coming at me and I couldn't get out of the way. I tried to just arch my back, make an arch in my spine for it to go past me. And I felt its fucking fin hit me on the back. And it was so close. I was like, why was it going for me like that? Obviously, I'm not saying it was trying to eat me because I'm literally not on its diet, but it was just, it was such an oh shit moment. And my sister's boyfriend kind of got it on camera. It was not a very good one, but he still captured the fucking oh shit in my face. Yeah, it was so close. I'm definitely the one out the group that said I had the closest interaction with the whale shark for sure. I win that award. And then we got back on the boat and we start eating fucking banana pancakes. I was like, yo, this is a cool day. Preferably, I would just rather pancakes, not banana pancakes. But hey, it was cool. It was a really cool start to the day. So I had some of those, and then let's see what else. Yeah, so then nothing else to do for the rest of the day. We were just sailing for the rest of the day. The whale shark hit me. That was funny. Just reading the notes now. So yeah, we were just sailing, just making journeys for the rest of the day because we had quite a long way to go. When somebody showed me on like a map, I was like, what the shit? We had such a long way to go and the boat was so slow. So we were just sitting on the edge of the boat, you know, just chatting shit. There's no service either, so there's no Instagram, none of that shit. We were detoxing, dopamine detoxing the whole trip, and it was pretty cool. The 17th of May, I'm pretty sure that the night of the 16th of May, I'm pretty sure I had sex on a boat. I'm not sure how many of you can say you did that, so I'm better than you, bitch. No, jokes, but that was pretty hot. Having sex on a boat, even though none of us had showered for like 2 days, that was gross, but I couldn't even smell it because we were jumping in and out of salt water. You know, we're kind of naturally clean. We had a natural smell, not a bad smell. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, on the 17th of May, we woke up and we went to the Komodo Islands, and that was pretty cool because that was kind of the main event. And yeah, on the Komodo Island, there was actually a toilet with a mirror, and I just realised that I didn't think about this, but there was no mirrors on the boat, and I don't think I've gone more than a day without looking in a mirror my whole life. So when I went like 2 days with no mirror, it was really weird to see myself in a mirror. I was like, shit, I haven't looked at myself in 2 days. And my hair's all fucked because I'm not looking in a mirror, so I don't really bother to fix my hair. My hair's all fucked, I've got stubble coming out. I'm like, fuck. It's what happens when you don't keep yourself in check. But yeah, went to just the Komodo Islands. It was really cool. So we saw 4 dragons. So we had a little walk through the park, and the tour guide with us had this like fucking stick shaped like a Y at the end to like keep things away. And yeah, it was cool, but it was a little bit anticlimactic. I was like, you know what, this is supposed to be the main event, but I think that the other things we did were way cooler than this. And yeah, the Komodo dragons, they're cool, but we suspected they were probably drugged up because some people were getting so close to them for pictures, and they probably would have been fucking eaten if the dragon was like just let to be itself in nature. It would probably eat that person. But yeah, I think they're a little bit drugged up, which is sad. But yeah, then we went to the Pink Beach, which is a beach with pink sand. No awards for guessing that. And I can't remember. There was obviously a scientific reason why the beach was pink, but I think it's the only one in the world. So it was super cool. That was cool. We stayed there a little bit too long, to be honest. I was getting pretty bored at the end, and I was walking down the beach with just me and this girl, and I tried to hold her hand, and she had it for a little bit, but then she sort of disconnected on her end. I was like, damn, I'll try again later. And then what was it? Yeah, so we stayed there for like 3 hours. I got bored. I swam back to the. I swam. Yeah, I remember. They're like, they challenged us. The Indonesians challenged us. They're like, yeah, jump off and swim to the beach if you're tough. Otherwise, everybody else, we had a little speedboat on the back of our boat. So most people took that, but I fucking swam. I think I was the first one there. It felt good. Obviously, swimming to the shore is quite easy because the tide helps you, but swimming back is a different story. So when I got bored eventually of sitting on this fucking island for a few hours, or this beach, well, it was an island, but we were on a small beach of the big island, and I swam back to the boat, and that was tough, but I felt very good afterwards. And then I got back on the boat, and I just started doing jumps off the boat for a while. And then we also had a different. Oh yes, we snorkeled on that beach, and it was all right. As I said, I got pretty tired of snorkeling, but it was cool. Then back to the boat, and then we stopped. Oh my god, that sucked. So we went back to the boat, and then we had another little journey, and then we stopped off at this mountain hike. And I think all of us were tired at this point. I couldn't really be bothered, but obviously I'm a genetic beast, so I could handle the hike. But the other three were fucking knackered. They could still handle it, but they were behind me a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we walked all the way up this fucking mountain. We're at the top, but the sunset wasn't for like another hour. I was like, why are we sitting up here? And there were so many other people. It was more than the boat. It was probably about 4 boats worth of people at the top of this small bit, at the top of this fucking mountain. And yeah, the view was fucking gorgeous, I will admit that. But we're here for the sunset, and I could see, you could sort of predict that the clouds are going to be in the way in about an hour's time, because the way the sky was. I'm like, the clouds are going to be in the way, guys. Can we just go down? They're like, no, we're staying up. Obviously, the boat's not leaving anyway until the sunset, so we had to stay up there. Lo and behold, the clouds covered the sunset. So that was fantastic. I really was happy that we stayed up there for another hour. On the way down, some lady collapsed, and my friend gave him his water bottle. And like, you're a better man than me, dude. If I date, I would not use my water bottle ever again if I gave it to a stranger. So you're a better man than me. Big up yourself. If you ever expose this and you ever find this, and you're listening to this, G, big up yourself. Obviously, I'm talking about my sister's boyfriend here, but yeah. So yeah, that mountain that annoyed me. Then we came down, and then what? Yeah, I had to wait at the top for ages, and then we came down for a last dinner on the boat, and it was really funny. I noticed on the first day, I noticed that under our bed there was a box with a speaker in it, and I'm like, what the fuck, are they going to take this out or something later? And on the last day, these Indonesians, they really tried. It's so cute, because all of these like crewmen, they had like a very stern face. Like the engine, there was a dude that worked in the engine room with he constantly had a cigarette in his mouth. I could constantly smell cigarettes on this boat, and they were a different smell. They're like weird cigarettes, and I could constantly smell it. It got really annoying, and he had like a very tough face. But then to see him wheeling out a speaker and a little disco ball and playing some like fucking white girl music is so funny. And yeah, so they really put this thing together, and it was. It was so hard to get. It was a little bit of a little childish party, but it was funny. And again, I'm not really a party guy. I find it really hard. But I just sat on top of the boat, and there was a lot of people downstairs like dancing and drinking and funny. It was all that. And the main captain, his name, he asked us to call him Don Maurice. Big G, absolute G. And he was just in the corner, fucking sleeping whilst this music was blaring out. It was very funny. I wonder if the fish heard that music and the thumping from the. They probably did. I remember snorkeling. I remember scuba diving. I haven't even spoken about that yet. But scuba diving, you can hear the boats above you. It's a really different noise when your ears are obviously filled with water. Yeah, so that was really funny. It was like, in the UK, in our school, the last year of school is called Year 6. And it was like a Year 6 disco, and we all sort of made that realisation, laughed together about it, and yeah, so we all just sat on top because there was a few of us out there that didn't want to go to the party. We were just chilling on top, and that was quite a nice evening, just chatting away like that. And then I fucking remember this. Then when we were sitting on top of this, when the party was downstairs, this is when Emma asked me for the first time if I could go to Australia with her afterwards, and that was music to my fucking ears at the time. Imagine a girl that you really like is asking to go to Australia with you. Um, that is exactly what you want to hear. You'd think, fuck, I think she likes me. Anyway, just mentioning that because that did happen at that day. Oh yeah, I don't remember what night it was, but one I don't. It can't have been this night. Maybe it was the day before, but I haven't got any notes. But it was really funny. Wait, it might have been this night, but basically, this my sister's boyfriend. As we were sitting on top, sometimes a wave would crash to the front of the boat and splash you, just a little bit though. But just by chance, the boat hit the water at just the wrong time. Loads of water came up, absolutely soaked this guy, and he was like, "Fuck this, I'm going to sleep." And his bed was downstairs, so he had to jump down and go down like this weird little hatch. It was like a door, but once you ducked to go in the door, the floor was about like another 3 feet below the door. So it was a bit of an awkward one. And as he got soaked, he's like, "Fuck this, I'm going to bed." He jumps down and slips over immediately. So he was already pissed off because he was soaked. And then he tries to go down and he slips over and bangs his legs off. I didn't see it, but just I could picture it and it made me crease. But I hope you're alright, G. He went to sleep and he was alright when he woke up. But the imagining that is really funny. Um, but yeah. So yeah, on the 18th of May, we woke up and snorkeled for the last time, which was cool. Even though when they said we're snorkeling again, I wasn't excited about it because, as I said, we've snorkeled so many times now. I'm fucking bored of it. But I got some. I got some of the boat's goggles. I had my own snorkel, obviously, because you don't share that shit. That's disgusting. But I got some of the boat's goggles, and they were much better. They didn't let any water in, and yeah, it was a really cool like area, and I saw these really amazing fish and coral, and it was just beautiful. I think I found my own turtle, and I gate kept it because when you say "oh turtle," everyone comes over and scares it off. So I kept it to myself, and that was really cool. Um, yeah, that was fucking awesome, and eventually some dude fucking happened to find it with me. This French dude is like, "oh turtle, turtle," and then scared it off, fucking motherfucker. But then after that, we got back on the boat, we did a little bit more driving, and we saw the baby sharks. And we're on this fucking island with the baby sharks. That was cool. We stayed on that island for a few more hours, which is a bit annoying, but it was alright. And I actually spoke to the captain, Don Maurice, about life. And he has kids, and he follows Islam. And he was telling me about his views on women, basically, which are obviously very Islamic. I was like, oh my god. Um, I was surprised that he lived that way, just given by the way he behaves on the boat. He doesn't behave inappropriately on the boat or anything, but just being surrounded by women in bikinis all day, I was surprised to hear that he believes that way. But yeah, Don Maurice is a very interesting character. His eyes were like, I can't describe them, but like his pupils were constantly dilated, like massive. Uh, and he always had a cigarette in his mouth, and God knows, I mean, what else he did. But he's an interesting dude. I asked how much he earned, and he earns equivalent. So like a 4-day trip, a 4-day work trip, he earns the equivalent of like £70. That's not per day either. He earns about £70 in like 4 days, which is crazy. Um, but yeah, he has dreams one day to own his own boat. He like kind of freelances for lots of different companies, and one day he wants to own his own boat and shit. And I've actually got him on Instagram now, and I want to and WhatsApp and all that shit. And when he gets his boat going, I want to fucking go. I want to be on there. And he says He says I'm gonna have a Bob Marley Cigari, which I'm guessing means weed. And he's a very funny guy. We then swam back to the boat to jump off a little bit more, and then had the last lunch. And we arrived in this place called Labuan Bajo. The second we docked on the boat, these taxi drivers fucking invaded like zombies. They were putting their hands through the window and shit. They were jumping on board. It got mobbed. It was crazy. We took our bags and we got off, and we're like, fuck off, taxi drivers. Our next Airbnb was just a walking distance, so we weren't interested, these motherfuckers. We walked to the hostel. We were in like what was it? A 5-man room, which was interesting because there's 4 of us. Actually, it was a 6-person room. There was 4 of us, so for once we didn't actually fill out the room. So there was going to be some randoms with us, which is a first. And there was this French dude sitting in the bed, and Emma, the girl I was with, was saying, "Who the fuck's put the air conditioning on?" And this we just hear this little voice like, "It was me. It was a little bit hot." And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It was quite funny. Emma did not sound that masculine either. She was very, very petite, feminine, beautiful girl. So yeah, we're in here, and enjoyed my first shower in 4 days. That was fucking beautiful. The first shower in 4 days. Oh my god. Had a shave as well. I just felt like a new man. Felt amazing. And went to a cafe for the first cappuccino in 3 days. Because I'd recently just started a coffee addiction, and then for 4 days I had no coffee. So I went for a cappuccino. I'm now more of a flat white guy, but here I was a cappuccino guy. And after the cafe, went for a little walk. And we stumbled upon a rooftop bar in this Labuan Bajo place. And we bumped into the fucking boat captain on this rooftop bar. It was fucking hilarious. And also we stayed, I mean I didn't, but my sister stayed in touch with some of the people in the group, got their numbers, and we planned out to go and have drinks with them. So I mean just me and the main group of 3 other people had some drinks up there. I don't drink alcohol, so I didn't drink. But we went back home real quick, recharged everything, and then we went out for dinner with the people we were just on the boat with. We went to this really nice Italian restaurant, and if it was in London, it would literally be like a really expensive restaurant because it was super nice. The way it was run, the building was beautiful. The way it was run, the service, everything was great. But because we're in Indonesia, it's dirt cheap. Not dirt cheap, but way cheaper. And yeah, it was a really nice dinner. I burned my mouth on. I don't even remember what it was, but it's this beautiful starter. And yeah, so we saw them for the last time. Basically, some of them went off, and we went out to this little club afterwards. Meal was really good, and yeah, it was a really nice evening. Went out to this little club afterwards. They all wanted to go out, and my sister said she wanted to go home. And again, I was curious. I wanted to be involved in like this party thing that everyone does, that the cool kids do. I wanted to do it. I was like, let me see if I can enjoy it. So we walked about 20 minutes to some cool building that played weird music, and but they almost didn't let us in. But when we said the name of the boat that we were just on, the guy was like, "Oh, come in for free." I was like, "Oh, really? Wow." That was wicked. And then yeah, it was just fucking, yeah. I was trying to enjoy myself. I was like, I can't. It's just weird. The genre of music, it was live music, and it was just a weird genre. It was like, what the fuck. And luckily, the others felt the same actually this time. My sister and her boyfriend were like, yeah, this is fucking weird. Let's get out of here. Emma, however, she was sort of enjoying it, but I was like, yo, we're gonna leave. You gonna leave? And she was like, yeah, whatever. And then we all left, and we had a wonderful night's sleep on a boat that didn't constantly rock and have massive engine vibrations and loud noises. That was nice. The 19th of May, we woke up. Maybe I should stop here. I'm going to stop here. And that's the end of the boat journey. That was definitely its own chapter in the book. And obviously, the 18th of May was the day we arrived back on land. I just spoke about that. The 19th of May, I'm pretty sure next we go to Malaysia, right? Pretty sure. Yeah, something like that. I'm going to stop here, and part 4, watch it, motherfuckers.